So Matt, cheers for joining us today. So if we look back to Bromley, a solid performance. You would say it's a solid away performance, professional performance, held out the team and just got the goals and finished the game 3 points what we needed.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think there was points where we were slightly shaky, but we had the early lead, and I think we did well to defend it throughout the game. Obviously, Elliot Justin's been in good form recently, and he pulled off some very good saves. But I think as a team, we've learned to defend a lot better and absorb pressure. And then, as you've seen, at the right time, we got the second and kind of killed the game off. So it was obviously a very, very happy time. And
then looking back into having keep on growing and growing, and now it looks like we're dominating teams like what we did with having first half at least 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been due a game where we've scored more than 2. I think that's the first time we've scored more than 2 this year, and there's been some games where we probably could have had more, like it was the other night, but obviously to get 3 is something to build on again, and obviously it would have been very nice to get the clean sheet, but even still a 3-1 win and 3 on the bounce is very promising.
And you've had a number of centre mid partnerships this season, but how's it been building a sort of relationship with Harry Phipps?
Yeah, man. Obviously Phipps is very young. He's a good player. You know what I'm saying? He's very athletic, very good in the air. As you've seen against Dover, he can pop up with the odd goal in training. Obviously, he's a good finisher. And yeah, I'm relishing it. Like obviously, for most of my career, I've been the younger of a partnership, and he's obviously quite a bit younger than me. So I guess. I'm not saying I'm taking him under my wing, but you know what I mean, trying to help him as much as I can, and obviously he's doing the same for me, so I think it's a good relationship so far.
And then having people, the new additions such as like the Balanta and the Wilkinson, knowing you can pass it forward and they can hold the ball up and split people out on the wings, how is that sort of having that experienced player up front that we've not really seen like clinical finishing before?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had a fair few strikers this year. Like, I think Tommy's done well. I think Sham did well when he came in for a couple of games. And obviously just the only thing that has been lacking is that clinical finishing. You know what I mean? The goal tally to match it. And obviously the Gaffer's made the decision to bring in Connor and Angelo, and obviously we're delighted to have them. Like as you've seen, I think since they've come in we've won 3 out of 4, maybe even more than that. But and they're putting goals away, so they're 4 and 2. Each, you know what I mean? So it's nice for us, yeah. And
what would you say is the biggest sort of change in the way the results have turned? What would you say? Is it just the togetherness of the squad, or the stability off the pitch, or?
I think it's a mixture of all of them, to be honest. Like, I do feel as if at the start of the season, when our squad was probably a little leaner. In terms of first team experience and also age as well, which is a big thing. We were unlucky in a lot of games. I think the fans could see that we were trying our best, and quite a lot of the time we were unlucky to come away with results. And I think just having a couple older heads and more experienced players coming in has consolidated us as a team, and obviously you can see that on the pitch as well.
As you mentioned there, the fans have sort of been through this tough period, but now it seems to be like they're finally getting the reward with these results coming in and the players coming in, and just all round everything's looking up. Yeah,
and they deserve it. Like I said, like from the start of the season, I've never questioned our fans. Like even when we were losing, they'd stay and clap because they obviously appreciated the effort we're putting in, and it was likewise. We could see that it was hurting them that we were losing, but at the same time, we were taking encouragement from them being behind us, and that's not changed. And if anything, they're louder now. Obviously, well, they are going to be naturally because we're winning, but is progressing as we are on the pitch. The fans are even more so behind us, and it's very nice to see.
And next up we got Hartlepool. They've not been on a great run of form, so obviously it's a long trip though. So how do you see this one going?
Away trips are always difficult, but like especially when they're that far. But we're going to prepare right. I think we're training en route tomorrow. So we'll have like, obviously no excuses in terms of we got up early and stuff like that. Like we've had due rest and stuff, and we're on a great run of form. They're not on a brilliant one, but they've sacked their manager, I believe. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. They've sacked him, so everyone knows that placebo effect of having a new manager can sometimes boost the team. But in my head, I feel like we owe them one because at the start of the year we lost 2-1, and I think that was a game that we thought. I think that was we went 1-0 up. Alex McQueen scored, I think, and I felt like we owed them one. I think we should have won that game. So, not going to try and jinx it or anything, but I think we'll be going up there aiming for 3 points again.
And over the targets of the season, I think that at the start it was more about sort of sustaining this year and with the young squad just sort of holding that sort of National League place. But now we're coming into the halfway of the season, we're looking up, we're going up. Do you think the targets have changed in the team?
I think first and foremost, I think because of the start of the season that we had, I think everyone's main objective is to stay in the league. That's what I would say personally. For me, that's the first task that we've got to complete. But obviously the way that we're going, like seasons can change. You know what I mean? People have done more miraculous things than make it to somewhere in the table better than where we are now. And who knows? Like, if we carry on with the way that we are, there's no saying where we might end up. And I think that's something that the lads have got to keep in their head. But for me, I think consolidating the league status is probably the first priority.